3BC.
Hey everybody, it's Joy. It's your girl, the hostess with the utmostest, and you're listening to 3BC, Three Black Chicks, where we give it to you real. We're going to kick it to you straight every single episode, whether it's men, mamas, friends, whatever it is. We're going to kick it to you straight because we are talking to us, Gen X, Black women, 40 plus, and then maybe we'll catch a few of the guys too. Maybe y'all will learn something. But thanks for listening. We're going to jump into the show. I have my 3BCs here. Casey the Alchemist, One Solo, and Chloe. What's up, y'all?
What to do?
What it be
Welcome
like?
back. Welcome back.
Man.
Before we get into our main subject, let me just give an honorable mention to the BX. Salute BX. Shout out to the BX because this thing was so funny. It made my whole week. And that's not what we plan to talk about, but this made my whole week. The sign in this bodega, and actually my homeboy was like, nah, that's at the liquor store. He's like, nah, that's at the liquor store.
Yeah, the
by
liquor
me
store. That
on
sound right.
Jerome Avenue in the Bronx. And the sign in the door said COVID-19 is some real shit. Cover your fucking mouth, shut the fuck up, buy your shit and leave immediately. Absolutely no titty or sock money. That's when I went down to my knees. After that, I was like, you done took me to my knees. Because you know the people
'Cause it's
try with
real.
that wet ass money.
Wet
Wet.
Wet, funky ass money. Stand back at least 6 feet, player. Store capacity limited to 5 motherfuckers at once. You cough, you die. Drink responsibly. Yo, that made my whole week. Stand up, BX. I love the BX for that right there.
Absolutely.
Sure.
I
So-
could have that on a t-shirt, actually.
Yo, it needs to be on a t-shirt for real. But here's the other part we need to getting into it today. The Karens are cutting up, y'all.
Girl.
I mean, they cutting up. They trying to kick up some shit on these here Al Gore internets over here. This woman, Emily Swaven, y'all at her if y'all want to, at Emily Swaven, Swaven. That's her. Fucking Karen. Yes, the K word is stronger than the N word, at least currently. Misogyny and patriarchy has been around longer than slavery. Just don't use either, okay? Stop saying, dear millennial, stop saying Karen. Karen is a sexist and racist term equivalent to the N word for white women. Calling a woman Karen is an attempt to get rid of a woman's right to stand up for themselves. Shut the fuck up. That's it.
First of all,
Shut
they the
the
ones
fuck
that
up.
came up with the name Karen, not us.
Shut up.
Two, how dare you make anything equivalent to slavery and the N word when that is not something your culture has experienced, as far as I know, in these here United States.
Ever, never.
Ever.
If it was
So,
the same
How
thing,
dare you?
then
But she basically is
when
proving
I
our
ask
point.
you and call you Karen, you not gonna at me back and call me the N word.
Correct.
Because you right there, they are not the same. We are not the same.
They
It's
are
not.
not the same. And how about, it just pisses me off, really, when people always want to compare things to slavery, the
Mhm.
N word, or experiences they know absolutely nothing about. If you want to talk
Nothing.
about misogyny and everything and speak with everybody about it, let's talk about that. If you want to say this is something that's making women be quiet, white women, explain that to us, and then let's talk about it. But don't come out here and just say, oh, it's as bad as the N word. It's been around. I mean, it's as bad as slavery. Bitch, sit down.
Sit down. And Amanda Seales said everybody wants to be in the oppression Olympics. And I think
That's perfect.
and I think
Bitch,
and
you ain't
well,
getting no
in this
medal in
case,
the Oppression Olympics.
you're not. And in this case, I really think it's the epithet Olympics. It's not even oppression, it's the epithet Olympics.
You
The-
can feel a way
Whatever.
about it. It's fine if you feel a way about it, if you feel it's offensive, but you don't have to compare it to another thing. Can
Right.
it not just stand on its own and you say, hey, I don't like
Because it can't stand on its own.
Because it
stand on its own.
It can't. You're diminishing.
I mean, come on.
That stool ain't got but one leg on it.
It ain't.
Right. Ain't
Motherfucker got a
nobody
knob.
raping you because they called you Karen. Ain't nobody
Correct.
having kids with you and acting like they don't exist when your wife know ain't nobody here. You the only white man here.
Right.
Right.
With all these black folks, where does beige baby come from? And
Right.
then, that's
The
not
birthday
calling you
kids.
Karen. There's no comparison.
There's nothing.
Nobody
It's
beating
an
you
insult.
with a whip because you part of the Karen group.
Right.
And then
Nope.
this woman on Twitter, I don't know who is attributed to. My friend posted it. Gave a very good definition for Karen. Karen is the word used for a white woman who weaponizes her privilege by tone policing women and people of color, calling the cops on black children, demanding to speak to the manager when they don't get their way, etc. And let me add this: they weaponize their white tears as well. It's an
Yes.
attempt by white women to turn a call out of their bad behavior into an attack.
Yes, I
That
agree.
definition is so perfect. Shout out to whoever this woman is that wrote that definition out, because sis, that is spot on. And I could talk all day about white tears because first of all, here's the two things you do: throw a rock and hide your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's not what I ain't did. Yeah, it is, because I'm looking dead at you. Two, you start a fight, then weaponize the white tears once you get your ass whooped. You started the
much.
fight. You can't be cry foul and play victim once you get your ass whooped, whether it's physically or verbally. You don't get to do that.
Have we seen videos of that in the last few years? A white woman confronts a black family or a black man or a black woman in a park or somewhere else, or another minority, because I've seen them, when you see two people speaking Spanish,
Yeah.
speak English, we speak American here, and then somebody pops off on you.
American, and you did say that right. Not
Right.
English.
That's what they say.
American. You said it 100% right. Go ahead.
Yeah.
And then when you get confronted and it gets hot, now you're crying. Now
you're a victim.
I didn't do anything.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
You
But what's
started a
funny
fight you
is
couldn't win.
the people that they are complaining are weaponizing the Karen word are their own people. That's what I find interesting. They're not mad at us for calling them Karens. They're mad at their own people for calling each other Karens. And I found it interesting that they have even put another stereotype, hairstyle and everything on the Karen.
But
which
don't you
I
see
found
the
even
Karen
quite
hairstyle?
interested too. Huh?
Don't you see the Karen hairstyle though?
Oh yeah, we do.
Don't you see it in your mind? Like that. Remember that meme that was going around about the CNA with the mixed kid or whatever hairstyle? The starter kid with the hairstyle. That spiky little hairstyle.
It's the spiky bob with the sharp edges. It's exactly what it is. Unless you live, but then there is also another one. And see, that is the what they're doing is putting that on a lower class of women and blue collar women. That's a stereotype for them. Let me go and break it down. Because you get because upper or so-called upper echelon or higher class white women per se in their minds anyway, don't wear their hair like that. But they're still the bob ladies. You'll never see them with their hair like that.
They have
but
little
they either
bob.
have either the very short haircut that's very, what haircut I'm talking about.
The K+8
right.
haircut.
Or they will
K+8, that's exactly it.
Isn't it
and the K+8 is
Isn't
the spot. No, that's that socio-demographic or socioeconomic status hairstyle that they're putting on her. But no, the richer ones don't wear their hair like that. They have
a bob.
They have the regular bob.
Strong economic status is you can still spot them by the highlights, lowlights.
Yes.
34 colors.
Yes. The K+8 style.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? Why?
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
But you know what? I call it the overseer. It's the overseer personality.
Yes.
Not the slave master, the overseer.
That's right.
Because if you remember, the slave master had a status in the community. He was the rich guy. He did all the social interactions and everything. He didn't do the dirty work. That was left to the overseer. The overseer was typically a person that was either a poor white person or a person trying to be at the level of the overseer. That's how they were able to use them so easily. But they never really had a chance to have that voice, to have that place. So they're always fighting for it, always having tears, always fighting for shit that's irrelevant. That's them now.
And it's easier to put a wedge in between that person on that level and then the people who they perceive to be below them. It's
Yes,
easy
these
to
are
put a
the
wedge there.
overseer descendant traits, as I like to call them. I mean, seriously, if you look at how the overseer was, it's the same personality traits we see with these same people crying over Karen. I love the sketch they had on Saturday Night Live when Idris Elba was on there. Remember, he was in the store and then a lady comes in to complain, and all of a sudden she's going off and he turns to another person because she's basically being a Karen. Because we see it every day. Even they have made fun of it.
Yeah, but the notion that it's somehow an effort to silence white women's willingness and capacity to speak up for themselves, it's what's really offensive, right?
It is.
Because white women don't have any problem speaking up for themselves, especially when it comes to Black and brown people.
Yes.
No problem asserting themselves. The issue is you need to speak up to white men in that patriarchy. But you're so busy being allied with and benefiting from white male patriarchy when it's convenient that you ain't speaking up against that. You own some otherness or middleness is what it is. You want to consider yourself oppressed, and so therefore you cannot be an oppressor. No, chick, you have mastered oppression strategies and are unwilling to see the oppression that you inflict on other people
and help perpetuate it, and as you said, have benefited from it. They have benefited from white male privilege more than any race in this country. And they fight against it. Yeah, okay, we are fighting against the white male privilege. But you have had privilege too. You have benefited too. And you still use your privilege too, which is why you have gotten this nickname. Because they're fighting for bullshit.
For us, that was created for y'all in the first place.
By a white dude.
Yes, making
a joke.
For you.
Making fun of a friend named Karen. That everybody has a Karen in the group from Dane Cook.
And they're so busy towing the line. And they're so busy being a pseudo performative feminist. That's what really is terrible too. It's this performative feminism and pseudo feminism. You are not a fucking feminist because you toe the line on this white entitlement bullshit. That doesn't make you a feminist. Because you're still, suppressing and oppressing another group of people. An actual feminist wouldn't suppress another group or oppress another group so that they can rise up because they're not using their powers for good. That is not what feminism should be in the first place. Right. And that's what's annoying for me. And and your feminism only includes people that look like you. It does not include us.
I mean, can we go back to the pussy hair era? I mean, first of all,
y'all voted for your oppressor. You sided with your oppressor in that election.
Yes. Those of you that didn't, all of a sudden now you want people of color to come out and support you and wear your pussy hats.
Yes.
When if you had been banding with us from jump, if you had included us from jump, but you only want to include us when you need the numbers.
Yes. And to make yourself appear, again, performative feminism, to make yourself appear inclusive and, whatever the word is for, what is it? Inclusive and current, maybe, and on trend. Probably on trend is probably a better way to say it. Inclusive and on trend because we're trendy right now. And current, and not living, not acting, living in a time that's a relic. They want to act like they care about other groups of people, but they don't, and it becomes very apparent.
And they tout the Gloria Steinem thing, but how many of them over the years, because I've heard her over the years speak about incarceration, Black people, admitting how that was missed, how that should have been more inclusive, saying how we should have done things differently. That's part of growth, right? But how many of them have we seen ever out here boycotting about men being in prison or banding together and say, you know what, I heard Gloria talking about, let's help Black men out here that are struggling with blah, blah, blah. I ain't seen no parades behind her trying to do that. But yet, like you said, stuck in a relic, they want to be stuck with how she was beneficial in helping 40 years ago. Was she trying to be beneficial and help in the last 20 years? Y'all ain't talking, calling her name.
They're not trying to hear that, though. And then, but at least Gloria Steinem is acknowledging that different groups of women have different issues. Like immigrant women have different issues than Black women.
They do.
They Black really American do. Women. And then Black women have different issues than white women. Latina women, Asian. Muslim, Asian, everybody has a different set of issues, and that needs to be acknowledged and addressed. If feminism is gonna be truly inclusive versus performative, you have to acknowledge all the issues. Now, can you address all of them? No, but you can find the commonalities and start there.
And say, I see you.
Can we talk about the number of times that we've seen Black men, Christian Keys being the most recent, where they put up a post about how they love and honor Black women and how Black women are beautiful? Who is the first one to jump in and say,
all women are beautiful?
All women. And never just able to be like, facts. Those are facts.
Thank you.
Black women are bad as hell. Never.
Thank you.
Facts. So,
hello.
That's what I always say when people are like, oh, she's married, a brother is married to a white woman, or, even a white dude who's married to a sister. Like, you only getting credit for me when you uplifting me and my tribe. Right. And it's like, I always tell people that's easy. Like, it's easy to be like, oh, you're married to somebody Black or white. That just means you love one person in the tribe.
Right. Like, that doesn't mean you got love for the
you don't love
for the culture. That's exactly right.
That's right.
Yeah. And then and they like to pick and choose what parts of the culture that they love.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Because it's still Karen behavior, these women. And we talked about this before. These women that are married to that Black man that still don't give a shit about his Black family. They have no respect for his Black family, particularly the Black women in his family.
Not
so that's
at all.
Still Karen ass behavior. It's
and
still
especially
Karen.
Very much the slave auction.
It's very much Miss Ann, and I'll never forget, who was that? Damon Wayans. He had that skit a long time ago. Here come Miss Ann just a skipping. And she said, $10, I need you to bust up a shiffer roll. And it's like, I didn't even know what a shiffer roll was. And then it just goes on about Miss Ann trying to jump his bones. And he's like, look, I ain't, I don't know nothing about nothing. But they trying to, jump his bones, low key. Mm-hmm. And that's the same kind of play here. That's the same kind of play that Karen ass behavior. How that Karen ass behavior works. That's the same move. It's the same move like 400 years later, 500 years later.
Mm-hmm.
That they also do against their own if they're not in their social class too, which is the same thing.
Yeah, social class is real. So do y'all have any parting words for the Karens among us?
Fuck you, Karen.
Go sit down.
Casey, you got parting words?
That's it. Eat a dick.
I'm a finish it how I started. Shut the fuck up. You're listening to 3BC on the KUDZUKIAN network. Thanks for listening. See you next time.
3BC, recorded at KUDZUKIAN Studios. Directed, produced, and distributed by KUDZUKIAN.
Join the conversation at facebook.com/3BC.